What up, comrades? Hope you're all doing well. So we're gonna kind of wrap up the Dark Phoenix in this video by talking about the what if scenarios. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and catch you later. So catch you later, and we will continue forward. All right. So the first one is they like redid. It's not even a what if. It's just like they had an alternative ending at some point that they decided not to go with, and so they made a comic which was just the original story with the new ending instead. It's called Return to Ashes. So Jean doesn't die, and they capture her, and they take away all her abilities, like the Shi'ar Empire, and then she can go back with the X-Men. They all piece back to Earth, and c'est la vie. That's the end. All right, so this gets a bit expanded upon in What If number 27, which is What If the Phoenix Did Not Die. So again, this essentially is the exact same story. We get like a huge recap, because these What Ifs usually come out much later, the original story. So we get a huge recap of what did happen, and now we go to the alternative world where Jean gets her powers removed and she nopes out with the X-Men. So when they return, Beast and Angel take off, and we just get some scenes of people practicing in the Danger Room. Jean is leading the X-Men as like a junior captain when Professor X summons them all to come to him. And he reveals to them that there's a planet nearby where Galactus is trying to destroy it and eat it, and that they need to head out there. And so everyone heads out, except Jean, and they find the Herald Terex, and they start fighting him, and he does pretty good, quick work on the X-Men, beats him up pretty good. Kitty and Jean are just kind of like watching from afar or keeping track. And once Cyclops almost gets killed, Jean transforms back into the Phoenix and flies. They might be on a ship or something. Anyway, flies all over there. We get some more shots of Havoc trying to fight with Terex and being defeated. And when Phoenix shows up and fucks Terex over completely, like transforms him to like stone or de-evolutionalizes him. And then Galactus and Phoenix start fighting each other, and they're pretty evenly matched. She destroys his like planet-eating device that he builds on planets, and then Galactus is like, it's not worth it. Just gonna go do something else. See ya. Good luck, because you're a god and you have needs, you have hungers. And then we get some shots of like the future X-Men that we're gonna get to in the mainline series, and how Phoenix like helps with all that. We get Jean just meditating and trying not to lose her mind and become evil. And at some point she's like, I am hungry. I need to fulfill this. Wolverine sees her kind of take off, and she finds like a sun in a galaxy where there's like nobody. And oh no, so she goes to a planet and she destroys like an inhabited planet. And then she's like, I'm just like Galactus. We continue on. The X-Men are fighting Sentinels. Jean helps them with that. And then she's like, I'm more hungry. I need to eat a sun. So she finds a galaxy with like nobody in it and eats the sun. And then she comes back, and she's now Dark Phoenix because Kitty calls her out. And it's like, Professor X says you can't eat more suns. And she's like, fuck you. And she turns Kitty to ash. Everyone's super sad. She fucks over Professor X. She kills Angel, kills Bobby, kills Storm, kills Nightcrawler, kills Colossus via Wolverine's claws. Kills Polaris, kills Havoc, and then Cyclops, she kills Cyclops, and then she goes mad with sadness and destroys the whole Earth. The end. All right. The next What Ifs come much later. They're the volume 2 of What If, and they're number 32 and 33. They're like they're a two issue episode here. All right, so this is What If the Phoenix Had Not Died. All right, so again, we get a recap of the whole Dark Phoenix thing leading up to the point where they are fighting the Shi'ar Empire. And again, she loses like her powers. And this time when they come back, Cyclops and her are like, adios, X-Men. The X-Men continue to fight. At Jean and Cyclops, she refuses to use her Phoenix powers at all, because if she does, there'll be issues. Cyclops is very worried because she's like freaking out, runs out in the rain. They smooch. Magneto shows up, and he's a real asshole, but he beats up Cyclops. And since Jean doesn't want to use her powers, doesn't want to bring him back, Magneto's like, you come with me or I'm going to kill Cyclops. And so she goes with him, and she's walking around all sexy like with the tank top and panties. And Magneto's being, touchy, more so than he should be, to be completely honest, to a married woman. I don't know if they're married yet. They get married in this issue. Anyway, so we see the X-Men doing stuff and whatnot, and he's like, I created a device. I can give you your powers back. And she's like, no, I won't. The X-Men show up to Asteroid M to, like, fight Magneto and rescue Jean, and they're going back and forth with Magneto for a bit. Magneto seems to be winning. Jean like touches the Phoenix Force again, sees like the whole world, the whole universe, and then destroys this machine and screams at Magneto. And then the X-Men come in, and he's like, whatever. And Jean's like, let him go. He's a bitch. Jean heads back, and gets her degree and starts teaching at the school. And they have Rachel Summers, their daughter. She then leads the New Mutants, which are Rain, I don't remember all of them, Cannonball, Sunfire, Indian chick, and what's her name, Shalag, or whatever, Xiao. It's a Vietnamese chick who can create illusions, I think. Anyway, at some point, we get like this really bizarre thing where Cyclops comes in to Jean, like breastfeeding Rachel, and it's actually Mastermind, but it's not just Mastermind. It's Mastermind being controlled by the Shadow King, and he like knocks her out real good by shooting her with a gun, and then steals Rachel. And then as she's dying, she taps back into the Phoenix Force, and she realizes that she's not Jean Grey, that she's actually the Phoenix. So she goes and finds the gene that she deposited in like the sand and the water after coming back to Earth, and then she destroys Jean. Because fuck Jean, because she loves Cyclops now. But that being said, she has a crisis of conscience about doing that. But she heads to Mur Island and gets attacked by Rachel, who's now an adult and is being controlled by the Shadow King and also has the Phoenix power within her. And so they fight, and eventually Jean sucks the Phoenix Force out of Rachel. And there's Mastermind, so it destroys him, destroys the Shadow King, and then turns Rachel back into a baby. She flies back and like closes off her powers for good this time. And everyone's like, "Oh, hey, girl, what's up? We're back from our trip, our X-Men trip, because we left you all alone and stuff." And she's like, "Cool, everything's great, no problems whatsoever." And then time goes by. She refuses her power. It looks like Rachel's like 4 or 5 years old at this point. But there's a lot of anti-mutant hatred. We get like a cute scene with Rachel and Wolverine, because she's all sad-apotamus because she's having nightmares and stuff. Jean's picked up smoking again for like the 15th time. So she goes and decides, all right, I have to do something about this anti-mutant stuff so my child can be raised well. So she goes and like mind controls the president so that he gets rid of all the anti-mutant sentiment, and then he gets assassinated. And then the vice president, who's a real asshole, takes over and he orders Garrick to start the Sentinel program. Now, the Sentinel program, if you're familiar with Days of Future Past, which we get to pretty quick here in the next couple of arcs, they don't just kill mutants, they kill anyone with superpowers. So all the Avengers get killed, the X-Men are like in hiding. Wolverine calls Jean out. He's like the only one who can do anything about this, and so he slaps her up real good, so she turns into Dark Phoenix and then goes to kill her. But she stops him, and then she erases his memory, and she goes back to just chillaxing. And at some point she's like, the X-Men are fighting the Sentinels, it's not going great, obviously. Magneto shows up, they join forces, and they go on like, to fight the Sentinels. Phoenix shows up and like turns it up. The X-Men are fighting, but they're kind of losing. Kitty goes to the Master Mold and dies, sacrifices herself to destroy that business. But it doesn't stop all the Sentinels, so Jean has to awaken as Dark Phoenix and destroy all the Sentinels. Then she hugs it out with Cyclops, reveals that she's Phoenix. Cyclops says he doesn't care. He loves this person, not... this is the woman I married and had a child with, not Jean. So this is who you love. Then Destiny comes. Destiny is Mystique's like girlfriend, wife, friend, whatever. She reveals that Phoenix, no matter what, is going to destroy. If she stays in her corporeal form, she'll destroy the whole universe eventually. And Jean's like, yeah, I knew that. So she leaves everyone behind. We get Rachel and Cyclops crying with Magneto, who's now handicapped, kind of running Professor X school. And she flies off, ditches her corporeal form, and re-enters the universe. The end. That's that. So that's all the what if shit that goes on here. Good stuff. It's like interesting to think about, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the what ifs, but there you go. It exists. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you all later. Bye.